is Carson.
And this is Susie.
From the Perfume Society. And we're here to talk to you about our men's box. Our new men's box is called The New Man. And
just launched.
It's jam-packed full of scents and extras. And they come in lovely little boxes that look like that. So we're going to smell through some of the scents today.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, also. All the people joining. Hello. So any questions that you have along the way, please just ask and we'll do our best to answer them. As I said, it's the New Man box that we're going through now. We're going to be smelling just half of the scents today because there's so many in there and we just didn't think that we could do it justice.
We would be here for about an hour and a half.
Yes, I think it would be a lengthy one.
Yeah.
So do ask any questions. The link to buy the box is just in our Instagram bio. And you can just find it in our shop online on theperfumesociety.org. It's £19 and £15 to our VIP club members.
Great value.
Cool. All right, so let's get started.
Should we dive on in?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is Issey Miyake. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
And it's Le Majeur d'Issey. So let's have a smell of this first of all. We always do that. We're umming at the same time. This is really... I mean, it smells like being beside the sea to me. And it's got a salty accord in there. It's quite subtle, so you're not going to smell like you've just had a fish and chip supper.
It's quite
which
soft.
is good. It's very soft. It's quite sexy, I think.
I would say that if you like the original Izzy's, if you like them, just going through, then it's a kind of great staple of that range, basically. It doesn't,
They have a real signature, I think, Issey Miyake, of just easy to wear fragrances that don't wear you. So if you don't like really loud fragrances, this would be a great choice for you. I think it'd be a great work choice as well.
Yeah, definitely. Bit
Nothing
subdued,
too,
nothing too intense.
Nothing too intense. But still characterful. I think there's some wood in here and it's very smooth. The bottle is worth mentioning as well, which is inspired by driftwood. A
really lovely tactile bottle. Like, it just feels very nice to hold.
Yeah, it really does.
Sculptural.
And so the whole ethos, the whole inspiration for this fragrance was a piece of driftwood that's washed up on a beach and has been smoothed over time by the waves. So everything is really smooth, really easy to wear, really soft. Will work with your skin really well. That's so good. But you really get that saltiness, don't you?
Yeah, and it's got a bit of cashmeran, which it mixed with the woods in the base. It kind of smooths it over and makes it quite round.
Yeah, it's kind of fluffy. Cashmeran is a synthetic note, but it was developed to smell like cashmere. Now, cashmere doesn't actually have a smell, so it's the imagined smell of cashmere. So it's that luxurious softness.
Downy.
Your skin, but better kind of a smell.
Yeah.
Really, really soft.
I'm a big fan.
Gorgeous.
All right, okay,
So
and
that's number one.
next we have Creed Viking. Which, there you go. Which the sample looks a little bit like, it looks like that. And this one is like quite a bolshy scent, I would say.
It is.
It's in your face, and when I was at the launch of this, a guy called James Craven, who works at Les Honte Perfumery in London, fantastic.
We love you, James.
He said that Viking is not for the man. Someone asked him if they could wear it to work, and he said it's not for the man who needs to ask, which I thought was quite a nice thing to say about it, because it is quite.
Yeah.
It's a little bit in your face. It's quite clove heavy, and it's so it's inspired obviously by Vikings, but by the kind of voyages and kind of grandeur and opulence and the cargo that they carry,
all the precious spices. But there's peppermint in this.
There's peppermint, There's Szechuan. So there's pink peppercorn, Sicilian lemon, some bergamot, and then there's peppercorn, rose, peppermint. It's quite an interesting mix, actually.
It's quite complex.
And then lots of patchouli and sandalwood and vetiver in the base. And it's really rich and kind of quite opulent, and maybe a bit more of a nighttime scent. But I think if you're going to wear it in the day, I mean, if you don't have to ask, then you can wear it whenever you want.
If you are a Viking man, you can wear this whenever you damn please.
And It's just won an award, a very coveted award in the world of fragrance. Basically, they're by the Fragrance Foundations. They're called the Fifis, and it's just won best male fragrance, which is quite the claim. Really, it's amazing.
That's out of all the fragrances that they judged for the entire year. So.
And if you knew how many fragrances
there are a lot. Our noses are very busy, so this is a really coveted award.
Yeah, it's gorgeous actually.
It is, and I think if you're worried about peppermint in fragrances, because sometimes if it's overdone, if it's not done well, it can smell a bit mouthwashy.
Yeah.
And this doesn't smell mouthwashy at all. You'll be very
kind
glad
of adds a zing to it. You know,
it does.
It's not like toothpastey, it's just like bright and kind of fresh and sparkle, like a little bit of sparkle.
And there's a slight creaminess as well. I don't know if that's the woods in it that are smoothing it as well, but it's almost more of a peppermint cream than a mouthwash.
So kind of like spicy, rich, opulent. Oh, sorry, what is it? Sorry, I just joined. This is Creed Viking. If you know the House of Creed, they've been going for quite a long time. They do retail it quite a lot, but I'd say that they're complex. I mean, their fragrances are complex.
Yeah.
They're fine fragrance. They last a long time. So this one is 185 retail at for 50ml. Which is on the pricier side of things, but I think, you know, I mean, this is why our boxes work so perfectly, because if you don't want to invest, then it's a good way to try them, and also to try them on your skin for days.
And also, if you don't happen to live in London or somewhere where there's a niche perfumery near you, then you might not get to smell it unless you buy it online, and then are you really going to lash out 180 quid without having smelled it? Probably not. That's why we do these boxes, so that you can try the latest and some really hard to find niche fragrances that perhaps you don't live near somewhere that you can go and smell them yourself.
I mean, not everyone doesn't. I mean, not everyone lives near a huge department store or anything like that. And it's certainly harder to get a hold of samples that you can actually try on your skin.
Yeah.
So, what do we have next?
What are we going to do next? I think, now this is quite the little extra gift, and it's not little at all. It's a full-size Eccentric Molecules body wash, 03. That is a whopping 200 mils of fragrance, and that is worth £20 on its own.
Yeah.
So our entire box costs less than the price of that would be on its own. So you work out whether that's a good deal or not, because I think it is. Should we have a whiff of it?
I think that one of the things I love about Eccentric Molecules is that they've got such jazzy packaging as well. I really love
They really do.
Yeah.
Have a smell of that.
This is based on a vetiver molecule, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit more complicated. So you've got some ginger and woods going through that as well, and there's a freshness. There's definitely some citrus notes in
ginger adds, like, a lot of people, when you say ginger as a perfumery ingredient, you don't really know, you kind of think of it as just smelling like the ginger in your kitchen, or the herb or the spice that you use in the kitchen. It's not quite that in perfumery. It's a lot more light. It almost smells a bit like lemongrassy, and kind of like sparkly, and
it's definitely sparkly. There's a fizz to it, so it's not just a flat ginger note at all.
Nick Fleur X smells amazing. We couldn't agree more. Where are you guys based? We're an online company, so you can find us at perfumesociety.org. We're based in the UK, and that means that we can only ship our boxes, sadly, to the UK and to Ireland.
Due to shipping regulations, which are ridiculous.
But you can find us online at perfumesociety.org. Even if you don't live in the UK and you can't buy our boxes, there's a ton of information there. We do blog posts, there's like, if you want to look up ingredients or interviews with noses or anything like that, there's like a ton of information there for you.
There's millions and millions of pages, basically, of all you would want to know about fragrance.
Ginger is an awesome material to use for sparkle. We couldn't agree more. I love it.
It is. Yeah, think of it, it's almost a champagne-y.
And it's really kind of having a moment, I'd say, in fragrance at the moment. I see quite a lot of it being used, and I really like that.
Both for men and women.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is a great size, and if you like layering fragrance as well, really nice to try a fragrance shower gel.
Definitely, for sure. And also, even if you don't really like wearing fragrance that much because you find it too a bit in your face, it's like, it's nice to wash with one of those in the morning, because the scent kind of lingers and it doesn't, it's on you, but it's not too like prominent, basically.
Absolutely.
Cool. Now we're gonna smell Nejma Coeptis, which the sample looks like that. And this is really cool. So this is It's called Coeptis, and it's a collaboration between the fine fragrance company Nejma and this like a really famous French rapper called Booba, who's really, really cool. He's got like his own Instagram and he's like millions of followers. He's massive in France and kind of worldwide as well. And he's basically, it's a collaboration between them, but it wasn't your average kind of celebrity collaboration, because he had a lot to do with the making of this fragrance. And she met him and he was like, I'm really into fragrance, and she was like, I love your music. So it was a real kind of collaborative project.
So that's really good to hear.
Yeah, it's great because, you know, celebrity scents, as we know, sometimes, you know, they don't have that much of a hand in them. But this is really lovely. It's kind of
gorgeous.
It starts off quite citrusy, and
it's very smooth.
Yeah, so it's got pink pepper and bergamot in it, and then it kind of softens down, and it's got some like violet leaf and incense, and it's a bit more.
I think
it's a bit more rich at the hood.
Well.
Yeah.
That's the creaminess.
Coconut milk.
Yeah,
definitely. And then there's benzoin and patchouli in the base. And so it starts off citrusy and then slows to a kind of more a woody kind of soft scent.
I would say this is one of those ones that really takes you on a journey throughout the fragrance. What is the name of the perfume and of the brand? So this one that we're talking about now is Nejma Coeptis.
And Nejma, I mean, they're both. It's a collaboration between a French rapper and a French fine fragrance house. And this one is £150 for 100ml, I think.
And we're smelling we're smelling half of the fragrances that are in the New Man Discovery box, which you can find on the perfumesociety.org website.
Yeah,
and
it's also
on
the link in our bio on Instagram. You can find the link to our box. So that is lovely, actually.
That is fabulous.
I'd personally wear that.
I would wear that too.
Yeah,
actually.
I think a lot of men's scents, I mean, there's not really any rules in fragrance anymore. You can wear what you want. But I think there are some scents that are directed at men that just take on a really, really beautiful role on a feminine wearer.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually. I mean, we're calling this the New Man box because these fragrances all have a masculine edge, but that isn't to say that you couldn't buy it if you're a woman for yourself as well, because we happen to know a lot of women and a lot of our readers really enjoy wearing masculine fragrances for themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's go into the next one. Floris, and it's Turnbull Asser for Floris. This was a collaboration that Floris did. Turnbull and Asser are a tailoring and shirting company that are neighbours of theirs in Jermyn Street, where Floris have their original boutique, which is amazing. And if you haven't visited it, you must go and have a look because it's so
beautiful. Cool. They've just redone it, and it's a really beautiful refurb. And they've kind of got at the back of their shop, they've got all of the original kind of like letters from Florence Nightingale of her orders.
Marilyn
They've got
Monroe.
Like all of these original scents that you can smell. It's a really beautiful like little history bit at the back of their shop.
Like
so do pop in if you're in London. And this one's called 7172, and it's a reference to a shirt size.
And this was originally a bespoke fragrance that Floris did for Turnbull and Asser for their select clients, but then they decided to release it nationwide, and so now you can smell it as well, not just if you happen to shop in Jermyn Street.
Hello from Malaysia. Hello, Malaysia.
Hi. I bet it's warmer there than it is here today. We had lovely weather all over the bank holiday, and today it's rather grey, but we're so glad you could join us. Thank you.
So this
is lovely, actually.
It's very, really nice.
Again, it smells like that clean cotton, really expensive, really luxurious shirting to me, and I guess that's what they were going for because of the relationship.
It's kind of quite crisp, and I'd say like quite timeless.
Very classic. Very classic. I mean, any age of man could wear this and feel really comfortable in it, I think. So great one for, I mean, I think the whole box is a great idea for Father's Day if you're shopping for that already, because it's such a great gift idea.
And I know plenty of men in my life like have, you know, they don't necessarily like shopping for fragrance. So getting them something where they can just try lots at home.
Something new.
What I generally tend to do with my dad is buy him a box and then say like, whichever you really love, then I'll buy it for you as like a main present.
Yeah.
Later on down the line.
That's a lovely idea. Really nice.
So this is quite crisp. It's like a little bit herbaceous, I'd say. There's some lavender and orris in it. Orris is a quite smooth, round fragrance.
Yeah, so
what
orris is from
perfume
the
is this?
iris.
So I know that this shows backwards. Thank you for telling us. It's Floris. It's Turnbull and Assa. I don't really know how to fix the backwards problem.
No, not sure about
sorry
that.
about that. But you can look up all of the scents on our shop page. Basically, on the product, it will show all of the scents listed there.
I think the orris is adding a sort of it's powdery generally orris, but here it's almost steamy. It's like a freshly pressed, if you've just literally pressed really good quality crisp cotton.
It is steamy.
And that sort of fragrant cleanness, but with some steaminess behind it.
It's lovely.
Really clever.
Really nice.
Really clever.
Again,
well done.
I would
Floris.
happily wear that.
Yeah.
Next, we are going to smell Dunhill Icon Racing, which looks like that. It's called Icon Racing, and it's got those kind of racing stripes on it.
And racing green.
Yeah,
So
it's British racing green. I have to say, I have to mention the bottle on this one because I think that Dunhill do very nice bottles.
They do.
And there's something about the weight of that cap,
Yeah.
and it just feels very nice in the hand.
Satisfying.
It's a very lovely bottle, and that's probably the reason why it's just won an award for best packaging. And it's a gorgeous British racing green.
Very
But yeah,
touchy-feely, that bottle.
Let's smell it. Yeah, no, it is. It's textured basically, which is quite nice.
Ooh,
Oh, this is so lovely.
that is beautiful.
I would wear this
Yeah.
in a heartbeat. I would have any man wear it.
I thought you were going to say, I would have any man. No, not
It's,
at all. If he was wearing that,
It's really, really soothing. It's got some cardamom at the top and bergamot and grapefruit, which I love in fragrance. And then it kind of moves on to like neroli and lavender. So a little bit more herbaceous and quite soothing. And then like black pepper for a little sparkle.
So they're quite traditional ingredients for a gentleman's fragrance. But it doesn't
Fougere.
smell, very fougere, but it doesn't smell old-fashioned. I'd say there's a real difference between classic and old-fashioned, so...
I'd say this is quite modern, but timeless nonetheless.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, any age could wear that.
Yeah, really sophisticated, quite sexy.
And there is that fern note. So fougere, if you don't know what fougere is it means fern-like. And now, again, ferns don't actually really have a smell. So it's that imagined walk through a woodland perhaps where it's just rained and you get that gorgeous smell from the undergrowth and the greenery around you. And it's that
the moss.
freshness, but quite a complex smell.
Yeah, definite winner. Love this one.
That is a really good one.
What kind of studies have you done to be perfumers? We are not actually perfumers.
We are not.
Work in the perfume industry. We write about perfume basically. And we've just been working in it for years. I mean, you kind of garner a lot of knowledge. But no, perfumers generally study 8 years plus or something like that.
I mean, it depends what school they go to, but yeah, they basically have to, if you're a perfumer, you have to memorise about 3,000 different ingredients by smell alone. And then also how to combine them exactly, and they practice for years and years and years before. And they're chemists as well.
Yeah,
so
you have to study chemistry.
Yeah, you've got to already be
Which I can
an
safely
expert
say
chemist.
I am not
Me
an
either.
expert in chemistry at all.
No, we leave the perfumes to the experts.
What was that last one? Mrs. Vargas Lady. It was Dunhill Icon Racing. That last one.
Really, really good.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
next.
we have one by, very exciting, Richard E. Grant's brand. Now, if you don't know Richard E. Grant, he's a British actor. He's very funny.
He is. I mean, he's probably still best known for his iconic role in Withnail and I.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it today because it's hilarious. One of the best films ever.
So this is his brand, Jack London, is it called? Yeah.
Jack London, and this one is the latest one, so it's called Piccadilly 69. Now, all of Richard doesn't claim to be a perfumer either. He works with expert perfumers in Grasse. And I think for this one he worked with Eleanor Massenet.
Yeah, who's
So,
a really fantastic perfumer.
She's a brilliant perfumer, and he likes working with perfumers to develop his memories, his scent memories, into fragrances, which I think is such a lovely connection to have.
A lot of brand founders do that. Like they'll work with perfumers to kind of convey what they want out of a scent, and a lot of them are based on memories because we link it so quickly, so closely.
So this one is based of when Richard first came to London in the 60s, in 69, and this is meant to encapsulate him standing in Piccadilly Square and gazing around him in wide-eyed wonderment, it says, at all the things around him, because if you can imagine London at that time, a lot was going on. You had brand new fashions, you had the musical Hair had just been released, which featured full frontal nudity, if you please, on the stage in England. And people were just shocked. Older generations did not know what was going on, and Jack was so inspired by this. So this is the smell of that time.
A kind of very free time, I imagine.
Yeah. So there's some patchouli in here, as you would expect for a sort of 60s inspired fragrance. But it's not patchouli heavy, I would say. If you don't like patchouli, and also, you wouldn't know it was there necessarily.
It's used in the heart, so it maybe won't be like the final dry down.
And it's a cleaner patchouli. I'm wondering if it's a fractionated patchouli that they've
quite
used
possibly.
In here,
it doesn't smell so.
It's not as earthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now there's also one of the most intriguing fragrance notes listed in this is petrol. Now, we weren't sure when we read that, but I have to say, it doesn't smell of petrol. I know what they mean. It's that sort of...
They've used something in that where you can get a nod to it, but it's so kind of... It's beautifully blended.
Yeah.
So it's not like you spray this and you smell like, a petrol station. It's...
It smells like a city. It smells like a vibrant city, something that's buzzing. There's a lot going on, and it's an exciting time.
But in the base, there's some kind of soft musk. There's a little bit...
And ginger again. So we, again, as we were saying a bit earlier, we're seeing a lot of this ginger used rather than just citrus on its own. It's perhaps more interesting, something a bit different that we don't always see in fragrance. And it just adds a certain something. It adds a fizz.
Yeah, and then there's leather in the base as well, which I would imagine, I guess, is a nod to like London as well.
Yeah.
And then the bergamot white in the top is meant to kind of like be like Earl Grey tea, which is obviously something that we're heavily known for.
But it
sounds like an awesome fragrance. It is. It's really lovely.
It's really good.
Lovely. And they're a really small brand. They're stocked in Fortnum's, and I think maybe a couple of other stockists, but online as well. But they're great. They're really good, really solid fragrances.
And difficult to get hold of. Again, if you don't live in London, I think it would be really difficult for you to go and smell this. So grab the New Man box and smell it for yourself.
Are these in the latest Discovery box? Yes, they are.
They are.
The New Man Discovery box. It's the link is in our bio on Instagram, or you can head to the site at perfumesociety.org in our shop.
And it's just launched.
Yeah, it's just launched, and it's £19, and you literally get so many fragrances.
There are 13 fragrances, I think, in all. So we've split, this is part 1. We're going to do part 1 today, and we're doing part 2, I think, June the 5th.
Yes, June the 5th. Please tune in, make a date.
So and maybe get your box in the meantime and smell along with us.
And then you can smell along and ask us any questions you may have. So in the next live, I'm just going to run through the scents that we're going to be doing there. So we're going to be doing Ted Baker's cologne. We're going to be doing Annick Goutal, who've just had a rebrand and made some new scents. So they're now Goutal, and that's Bois d'Ardouin, which is a kind of reinvention of their classic scent. Yeah. We're smelling a Cheyenne Blue, Kingswood, I think it's called.
Yeah, and that's not out till September, so that's
a little sneak preview. Michael Kors Extreme Speed, which is gorgeous. Jimmy Choo Man Blue. And then we've got Mont Blanc Legend Night, which is, again, lovely. And Alien Man, which is just out, I think. So,
it is.
And also, we'll be trying to spray some of that, I suppose. But yeah, so we'll tune the 5th, and we'll be doing all of those scents and also answering any questions that you have, maybe about men's scents or how to buy fragrance for a man, things like that. Tune in. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes,
to
thank you.
All of you.
Thanks
for joining us. This has been a pleasure, as always. And also, any questions that you may have, please feel free to email us at info@perfumesociety.org. check out our website. We're always posting new blog posts, and we've got events in London and stuff, and a world of fragrant fun, basically, all for you to explore. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks
so much. All right, have a
so
lovely
nice
day,
to see
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Bye.